Hello everybody, and welcome to today's stream. So I'm sure you're wondering, Emil, you don't normally stream on a Tuesday. What's up with that? Well, let me tell you something. I'm just gonna log in to mix it up now. Sorry. Sorry, Mezina. But, yes, I, don't have a big enough, group now to do the meetup every Tuesday. One of us moved to the other work shift, so they couldn't come anymore, and it would pretty much make it virtually impossible for, to get the group together on Tuesdays anymore. I mean, there may be, like, days where it could be possible, but for the foreseeable future, not really that much this time. Which is a shame, but hey, it is what it is. Just means that I don't have to try and commit to a Monday stream on the early shift, where I am normally absolutely exhausted because I've had a bad night's sleep. So yeah, I can do streams on Tuesday now, which is pretty cool. I hope you've all had a nice day. Or if it's just starting, I hope the day is good for you. We are playing, Teeth in Blood. And those of you who are aware, there's a disclaimer because there's content warning. Also, mark that my stream as graphic violent depictions, because, it can be quite graphic. But yeah, you guys know. So, yeah. And once again, Studio Elon, thank you again for the key for this. I am very grateful. And I am going to not stall anymore. Let us play. I mean, we'll probably play this for 2 hours. Mario Kart World for about an hour and a half. Which isn't quite the full 4 hours, but I want to keep myself, ready. Because tomorrow we're going to be playing Deltarune. And some characters I voice, and I'm going to need to save my voice for that. So, that's the reason for that. Anyway, let's get into this. It's a Tithe in Blood. Yeah, I always say teeth, which sounds kind of gross. Bloody tooth. Gross. Alright. So yeah, I forgot this game was one I could use a gamepad for, which I always appreciate that. Stops me having to rest my wrist on my mouse, on my desk. Not comfortable, I'll tell you. The television blares away in the otherwise silent room. A report on the weather repeating what anyone who are here already knows, that this year's winter is only becoming more bitter. The weather today nearly a whiteout from the snowfall. Between the screen and myself, a half-eaten pasta lunch sits on the table. I stare at it to try and force myself to eat, but I can't muster my appetite. Yeah, no one likes not being able to eat, right? It's never nice when you you have to eat, but you just can't. Your mouth is just like, no, don't eat that. Another of those particular dreams happened last night. Those that give me such rare happiness, only to mercilessly crush it upon waking. A dream where my parents were. Ooh. They were real. They spoke so clearly and looked so normal. All we did was talk. Not even about anything in particular. Just mundane things. A perfectly everyday scene as if they'd never left me. Oof. Then the alarm's blaring cracked through my thoughts. In one horrible instant, they left me again. Fading memories of home-cooked food play on my mind. I hold on to them dearly, yet their tastes and textures grow ever more faint. The images and voices of my parents, too, grow faint. It feels as though I've lost them once, only to be slowly losing them again. Ooh, yeah, it's not a nice dream. This house is too big. This world is too big. The more I try and cling on to what little I still hold dear, the more I feel adrift in a churning and stormy sea. I think my phone's on mute. How Yasue managed, I simply don't know. I only wish that I were as strong as her. Giving up on my meal, I take to my feet and glance out the window. The morning's harsh snow continues to fall. Hazy shadows of nearby buildings, obscured by the thick white fog enveloping everything outside. She lost every last soul she knew, yet so patiently listened as I talked about my own grief. A solitude of so many life lengths, for someone so warm and kind. A solitude there's no saving her from. I know, that's really sad when you learn that she was actually, you know, she made the world that she lives in herself just so she wouldn't go mad. It's very, very unfortunate and very, very tragic. Maybe we can still yet save her. This visual novel is still very young, after all. There's plenty of chance for us to, hopefully see a happy ending for the two of them. How can someone like Shino even contemplate making the world a better place, when such injustices exist? The cold outside begins to permeate the house, the heating unable to keep up. That matters little now. Gazing at the bleak scenery outside, I resolve myself to how I'll spend the day ahead. What are you gonna do? Turning on my heel, I head toward the stairs. Cleaning up after my meal will come later. This world hardly matters anymore. God damn. She's given up. She's given up on the world. Entering the bedroom, I stride towards the desk without hesitation and grab my knife in hand. She looks like she's going back. It's been a week now since I visited Yasue. A week spent surviving, but hardly living. Clutching the blade tightly, I take a long breath. Doing this now is a little easier than it was the first time. Or is little easier. It's not as easy, it's just as hard. Opening the book that started it all, I flip to one of the multicolored bookmarks stuck onto its time-worn pages. Transference, the scholar called it. A spell which would alter the course of my life so drastically. Looking between the diagrams in its pages and the stained floor below, I set the knife back and crouch down, fixing the detailed glyphs with chalk from a drawer. The wood has seen better days for my vandalism, but I've given up caring. Righting myself after a few minutes of scrolling, I look down at my work, satisfied that everything is as it should be. Compared to my other experiments, so much practice with transference has at least made this work relatively reliable. My heart catches on to what's happening, suddenly accelerating as I pull up the sleeve to reveal my bandaged arm. Little by little, I slowly unwind the white-colored gauze in a now familiar routine. Taking the knife once more, I press the blade's edge to the bared flesh. I like how when the wrist gets slit, basically the whole image sort of like distorts and blurs, like, you know, you're suffering from anemia. A nice little detail, if a bit graphic. One shuddering breath is all I allow myself in hesitation before pulling the sharp blade across. A yelp of pain echoing about the room as pain lances through my consciousness. Blood now flowing freely, I put the weapon away and focus my thoughts on the goal. It helps to push through the pain, at least a little. Kneeling down with fingers extended, warm fluid flows over them and onto the shapes drawn below. My job done, I stand in the center of it all. The sight is no less surreal, no less ghastly than the first time I saw it. Pain still pulses from my fresh wound, blood dripping to the floor beside me. Does it work? Pushing all unnecessary thoughts aside, I close my eyes and prepare myself. For my happiness, for my love, I have to endure this. I concentrate on imagining the symbols and patterns around me in my mind, surrendering myself as my thoughts and emotions begin to dance and twirl. I let myself be carried away by the current swirling around. Ooh. Ooh. Let's not forget as well, she literally just passes out from blood loss, I think. I think that's all this is. Her mind just, goes somewhere else while her body just lays there. It's pretty grim. How strange this false world is. I mean, it makes sense that she'd still keep up with this charade because, like she said, it's keeping her sane. Not insane. With my bandages rewrapped and the short trek downtown made, I idly stand at the park and watch the people of this place go about their day. They laugh and smile, greet and gossip. Some are tired and weary, while others gleefully skip along. They look so real, yet every last one never existed in the first place. They're all simply figments of Yasue's imagination. Memories given form and voice. A world unchanging, which will never fade nor crumble. Where Yasue is in this world, though, I'm not sure. Resigning myself to talking with one such actor in her grand play, I walk up to a yawning elderly man as he waits on the street corner.
すみません。安江さんはどこにいるのかご存知ですか?
My voice is oddly confident when talking to a total stranger. The experience feeling almost amusing knowing what I do now.
安江さんなら散歩に出られたよ。南の方に行けば見つかるはずだよ。
Just goes to show you how powerful a mage she is, and yet she can't escape. It's very sad. He gives a perfectly reasonable reply, despite not an ounce of free will. Struck by curiosity, I wonder if...
6. パンケーキ、魚、8. 車、電話。
Huh?
悪いね、お嬢さん。そろそろ行かないと。
Dad doesn't know. With that, he turns and begins to hobble away along the street. The moment anyone here gets unexpected input, they leave rather than attempt to discuss it. They're less controlled puppets and more autonomous robots parroting laughably primitive scripts. Makes sense. Just goes to show how little I meaningfully converse with anyone. The slightest interaction should have shown me this, yet I never even suspected so in all the time I've come here. With a bemused snort, I begin to walk southward. Hope she's okay. Having to confess that this world is fake to Honoka, I'm sure, might have had a bit of an effect on her too. Some ways from town, beyond the gravel roads and wooden buildings, lie the forests surrounding Old Sapporo. Little more than untamed wilderness, these areas would only be developed half a century later. Some birds squawk in the distance, flying freely in the azure sky above. Trees sway in the breeze, and my footsteps upon the dirt are soft. It may not be as noisy as the city, in this time or mine, but life still continues here as well. You doing okay, Mezuna? Sorry about the, again, forgetting to activate Mix It Up. I'm really bad. I click on it and think, okay, it's in, it's working, but I keep forgetting I have to log in when I use it, so, yeah, I need to improve there. Searching for Yasue takes some time, but she finally comes into view some distance ahead. Seeing where she is, it's no wonder she was hard to find.
安江、こんなところでどうしたの?
Hello!
あら、ずいぶんな挨拶だこと。
Well, you are away from the town. It is kind of weird. She gives a churlish grin as I walk between the trees to find her. The woman quite content to remain exactly where she is. Once again, I am reminded of so many old photos, with stiff and formal people captured in those rigid poses for years to come. Never did they stand in a forest, lazily basking in the warmth around them. Yet I'm glad for it. We parted on such awful terms, but now she couldn't look more different, to smile in so cruel a prison. I was so glad to see her, and even now, I feel at ease in her world. I'm left to wonder how she sees me, behind that calm and contented smile.
ほのか、元気にしていたかしら？そうね。特に変わったこともないし。
No, it does not. Honestly, it's kind of sad, isn't it? She goes to college and just comes back home to an empty house and just doesn't do a lot.
私の方も特に変わったことはないわね。
Well, I'm glad you're so chipper about it, Yasue. She gives a small giggle at her joke, but I can't laugh along. Does she expect me to just ignore what we shared with each other? The loss we've both felt? I mean, of course she wanted to try and distract you from it, but yeah, even she can't ignore this. Yasue's smile soon falters. No, she didn't expect me to forget my mourning. She wanted me to move past it, as she has. But I'm not that strong. I'm not as good of a person as everyone thought I was.
どうして安江はそんな風にしていられるの？そんな風って何のことかしら？
You're playing dumb, are you?
笑うこと。
A silence follows. For all of Yasue's attempts to brighten the mood, I've simply thrown it all back at her. I feel terrible for doing so, but among so many things I don't understand, that's one of the least. Yeah, I can understand that. As Yasue's attention turns upward, I follow her gaze. A brilliant and cloudless sky hangs high above us, light shining through the canopies of the trees. I wonder how long it's been since I saw a vivid, clear day like this.
悲しむべきなのかしらね。
I mean, there's a sense of it, but is wallowing in your sadness really the right way to go about it?
ここにいる皆が偽物だもの。でもね、また誰かを失う喪失感に耐えられなかったの。それだけのためにこの力を使うなんて、軽率で身勝手じゃないかしら。
And yet it's a completely understandable feeling as well, isn't it?
そんなのみんな同じよ。死ぬのは怖いから考えたくもない。もし私に安江と同じ才能があったら、同じことをしたと思う。
Part of me wonders if I should have my monitors the other way around. Feels like I should. Because I'm constantly looking away from my screen when I'm looking at the game. I'm looking away in the scene. Which is kind of weird, isn't it?
私たち魔術師がなぜ力を持っているのか、理由は誰にもわからないの。異常なほど寿命が長い者や恐ろしい力を振るう者もいる。だから私たちを本当に人間と呼べるのか疑問に思う人もいる。
Of course you are.
安江はどう思ってるの？前は疑っていたわ。でも答えが見つかるのは100年後になりそうね。
Wow, she's very old, isn't she? Excuse me.
この世界は鮮やかで明るいけれど、どんなに頑張っても自分を騙して信じきることはできなかった。時が経つにつれて、私はたくさんの感情や気持ちを失い、 それに耐えようと自分を鈍らせていった。
Understandable.
でもほのかが来てくれたから。
You're like a beam of hope in her hopeless situation.
初めて感情を取り戻せたのよ。なくしたと思っていたたくさんの思いや記憶が今までにないほど鮮やかに蘇ったの。
助けられなくてごめんなさい。頑張ったけど私じゃどうにもならなくて。
I wouldn't worry about it. You did your best.
ほのか、あなたはもう私を救ってくれたのよ。だから。
Hmm? I'm left a little confused as she pauses. The air about her is somehow different than usual. The warm sun beams down. The field around us basking in its bright gaze. The grass around us rustles in the breeze, slowly picking up to a gentle wind.
ほのか、ちょっと目を閉じてもらえる？
Eh? What? Hi there, Johnny. How are you? Nice to see you at the stream. It's nice. It was nice. How are you doing today? Trusting in her, I obediently shut my eyes. Something swirls about me, my heart racing at not knowing what's happening. A wash of cold envelops my body, but I tell myself to keep them shut. Yeah, I'm glad. It's always nice.
ありがとう。もう目を開けてもいいわ。
These visual novel streams aren't really the most interactive for the audience, so it's always nice when there's a chat member. Just so I can, just do some small talk. Whoa. Opening my eyes, they at first need some time to adjust to the light. It's only after a few seconds that I realize the scene surrounding us. It's very pretty. Flicking my head to and fro, I stumble about as I try to keep track of the small lights darting between the trees. Hundreds, thousands of fireflies dance about us in the night air as I shift about. My mother and father stand behind me as I skip through the gardens, my yukata flapping about as I run around. My eyes try to follow one, only for another to zip by and take my attention. So ethereal, so magical, compared to the mundane glitzy streets of downtown. Ano ne? I turn back to my parents to explain how amazing they are, and... a woman stands patiently, content to smile and watch me. Her yellow yukata matches her eyes, their glow no less bright than the fireflies around us.
安江、どうして？
How did she manage to recreate this childhood dream she's had? As her magically imbued eyes join the fireflies' glow in the night's darkness, the reason is perfectly clear.
ここにいる人たちだけじゃない。この世界そのものもあなたが作ったの。
Isn't it amazing how much power this mage has? It's incredible.
最初の頃は幻想の世界を作っていたわ。全く違う可能性に満ち溢れた世界を何百通りも作ったの。でもいくら作っても奪い去られた世界への憧れを抑えきれなかった。
Need to have an energy drink. Thank you for the love, Johnny.
正気を保っていられるように知っている世界を可能な限り再現したの。現実に限りなく近い人たちがいる世界をね。 その世界が私たちが今いる世界よ。
コーンポタージュ
I should get some more redeems at some point. I do plan on bringing back the throw potions redeem when I get some assets commissioned. Which I will do maybe September. I might just get a few little assets, some things to use in Tithe.
すごいよ、安江。私には到底できない。
Well, she's an actual fully fledged mage and you are not.
いいえ、ほのか。あなたはもっと素晴らしいことをしてくれた。
Hmm?
私を救ってくれたのだもん。
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait, she did something more amazing than this? Oh, right, okay. I understand.
私は現実とのつながりを失い、自分の作り出した世界に没頭して永遠の孤独を生きていた。封印されたなんてなかったかのように振る舞って生きてきたの。そのうち自ら進んで正気を手放し、自分自身さえ見失ってしまったと思っていた。
I mean, my redeems are weird. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm ashamed of myself, but it's never not funny. Alright, yeah. Yeah, the yeet is always gonna be funny to you guys, isn't it?
でもね、ほのか。あなたが証明してくれたの。私にはまだ人間らしさが残っているって。素晴らしくも恐ろしくもある人間だということを。
Oh, the duality of man. Both wonderful and horrible. As I look at her smiling face, her hand reaches out towards me. At first, she cradles my cheek before gently stroking the side of my face. Far from recoiling, I find myself melting at her touch. Like I say, tits is weird. Tits is weird. Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. It's very confusing. That's right, I still haven't updated it. I need to update it. I wonder how long it has been since I felt the warmth of another. Far, far too long. The simple feeling of a gentle hand on my cheek is overwhelming. Yasue's kind face looking almost fragile as she shakily speaks.
だから私を救えなかっただなんて言わないで。ほのかはもういろんなものをくれたわ。
Aww. That's so sweet. Aww.
私を解放できなくてもいい。毎日ここに来てくれなくてもいいし、現実世界のことを教えてくれなくてもいい。血の魔法だって完全に理解しようとしなくていいの。そんなこと気にしないわ。
Bear in mind, we're still in chapter 1. We're still in chapter 1 of this game. Or is it an acts? I can't remember if it's acts or chapters, but yeah. There's like 5 chapters slash acts.
あなたがいてくれるだけで嬉しいの。
Oh my goodness. I think these two are made for each other, don't you?
ほのかが生きて存在している。それだけで十分幸せよ。
Oh, that's so sweet. As long as I can remember, I was meant to be a high achiever, get good marks, be the best I could be. I'd go on to do great things if I applied myself. Is this really fine? Is it okay to stop? I never even considered the possibility. As she cradles my cheek, I know that look in her eyes. She's seen right through me. Perhaps it's the wisdom of age, or simply my nature being easy to read. I've never been a good liar. For the first time, nothing stands between us. The person before me isn't some grand mage, nor a wizened older woman. She's simply human. Wonderfully, beautifully human. As we look at each other, my heart aches. Our eyes close to the fireflies around us. The last barrier between us is gone. The two of us moving to the same script. Now kiss! Yasue gently lowers herself, my chin rising to meet her lips, and... Yeah! Kissu! Do you know my 2.0 can kiss? My 2.0 has kiss lips. So yeah, I can do that too. I always thought my heart was supposed to race at a time like this. That I was supposed to be a mess of feelings and my mind a jumbled heap. Yet, as I feel Yasue's soft lips against mine, tinged by the salt of my tears, my mind is clearer than it has ever been. For the first time I can remember, my feelings make sense. I truly love this woman. Nobody else will remember me. My existence is no less fleeting than the apparitions Yasue conjures. While this world may be false, our two souls are real. More real, it feels, than my own world. That's so nice. I'm so happy they found each other. Yeah, we're Act 1, Scene 9. The Lady in Red. The walk to the cemetery from home is a long one. With little to see, and few passing the longer road so far from the city, the journey forces a certain amount of reflection. The odd car driving by only accentuates the solitude. As my destination comes into view, I wonder how often I should be coming here. It's a difficult question to ask anyone. If nothing else, I suppose such visits at least keep the grave in good maintenance. Indeed it does. If any of your loved ones are sadly gone and they have a grave nearby, always be sure you maintain it, okay? I'm sure their departed souls will appreciate that you care so much. Coming to the ostentatious open gates, I head in without hesitation. Ooh. The path to the Asakawa grave is, after some meandering at first, etched on my mind. A dusting of snow lies atop the stone, but everything looks to be in order otherwise. Cold and impersonal as the stone monument may be, this is all I have. The waves become smaller, she says. Heaving a sigh, I try to refocus my thoughts by flicking off what snow I can. The grave looks a little neater for the effort as I step back and brush the frost off my now cold hands. What I intended to say flows from the lips before I know it, as if my thoughts could wait no longer.
お母さん、父さん、私、好きな人ができたよ。
Yeah.
その人に会うのは大変だし、私より年上なんだけどね。すごく優しいの。もっと違う状況で出会えてたらと思うこともあるけど、その人と一緒にいると幸せだよ。
I'm sure your parents would be happy and supportive too. The cold stone gives no reply. Even as I talk of happiness, a lump is in my throat. But, my love has to be qualified in so many ways. Even now I can't see Yasue. A light in my life has finally appeared, yet it flickers so dimly. All I can do is clutch at it tightly, for it's all I have. Yasue survived so many years by herself. When the sheer thought of such a fate horrifies me. I wish I could be half as strong as she is, yet she doesn't begrudge me for that at all. For all I've studied Isabella de Mora's notes, there's not one way to avoid the teeth I have to pay. The tithe! The tithe! Why do I keep saying teeth? It's Tithe. Even the other spells are worthless, being nothing more than objects conjured from blood. Do you think maybe the author of that book is the one who trapped Yasue in there? Just a thought. To distract myself from my thoughts, I sweep the last of the snow off the gravestone's top. There is, at least, a certain satisfaction in cleaning, of righting the world in some small, trivial way. Just gonna save it real quick. Ooh. Oh look, it's the lady in red! My job done, I look about at my surroundings. Not a soul is to be seen on this cold winter's day, save for a solitary woman up ahead. The vivid red of her kimono pierces the white snow as it falls. She stands alone in haunting silence, just as she always has. Something sus about this woman. Yes, something is very sus indeed. Then she turns. My eyes quickly flick to downward as she begins to walk in my direction, cursing myself for having stared at such a bad time. Clatter, clatter. Her wooden zori cause a small din as she steps along the concrete paths. Clatter, clatter. Her graceful footsteps ring out as regular as a metronome. Clatter. The next step never comes. My heart skips a beat as I notice the woman come to stop beside me.
Asakawa-san kashira?
Eh? What? How do you know her name? With no small amount of hesitation, I turn to face the source of that dulcet voice like a penitent schoolchild. Now that I get a better look at this woman, I wasn't wrong about her being a matriarch. Younger than normal, perhaps, but no less stately and aloof in her demeanor. Most striking, though, isn't her clothing, nor the air about her, but her eyes. Those deep, black eyes are strangely captivating, alluring, yet unsettling at the same time. An abyss I already feel myself sinking into as I meekly stare up at her. Utterly lost for words as the snow falls about us, a passing thought crosses my mind. What kind of life gives someone such a gaze? Hi there, Lucky Bun Lucky, how are you? Thank you for stopping by the stream. And thank you for giving a chat message, I appreciate that very much. Hope you've had a nice day, or are gonna have a nice day.
時々私を見ていたでしょ？理由を聞いてもいいかしら？
I mean, look at you, ma'am. You're very, distinctive. You stick out like a sore thumb sometimes. I feel my cheeks blush instantly, awkwardly averting my face to hide it. All I can offer is silence. What other response can I possibly give? Closing her eyes, she thankfully lets the point go. Thank goodness.
そうなら答えなくてもいいわ。代わりに私のわがままを聞いてもらえるかしら。少し話に付き合ってほしいの。
A small tale, you say? Okay. I absent-mindedly nod. The fact we're so clearly alone as she says this plays on my mind. She squarely wanted to talk to me, and only me.
この町にかつて一人の少女がいた。少女の名は勝子。少女は早熟で周りに興味を示さない子だった。 大人たちがどれほど構おうとしても、誰かと話すより一人きりで本を読むのが好きだった。
Wonder if anyone here can relate to that feeling.
両親はそんな娘を溺愛し、どんな興味や好奇心だろうと満たそうとした。少女はやがてすぐに自分だけの図書室を築き上げ、壁に囲まれた小さな世界だけで満足していた。でもそれはある冬の夜に終わった。静かに降る雪とまばゆいばかりの橙色の炎、その光景が少女の心に深く刻まれた。
Man, oh man. What? Is this she talking about herself?
火は瞬く間に木造の建物に燃え広がり、夜が明ける頃にはその家のみならず町の大部分が焼き落ちていた。少女は傷を負いながらも生き延びたが、愛情深い両親は灰となっていた。
Oh, goodness me. She has a similar story, I guess.
辛かったでしょうね。
ごめんなさい. She merely closes her eyes, the moment of silence saying more than any words could. Some wounds are too deep for time to ever heal. She casts her eyes back to where she'd been, the gravestone blotched with lichen and its crumbling corners weathered. Without me, this grave too will eventually suffer the same fate. The similarity of our pasts doesn't go missed. Of all the places to feel a connection with another.
ずっと一人きりだったんですか？
いいえ、
Oh,
それは違うわ。
no. Her eyes lazily roll back to me. Every action she takes feels languid, as if bored with the very act of moving.
もう一人生き残った子供がいたの。その少女には姉がいたのよ。父親は違うけれど、二人とも魔術師の血を引いていた。
Mages!
一人は人との付き合いを避け、もう一人は人を愛した。そして他人の注目を浴びることを人生の糧とし、会う人すべてを魅了した。そんな二人だったからかしらね。才能は正反対だった。火事の後、町は無言の裁定を下した。一方には哀れみを、一方には糾弾を。
Huh? Those black eyes leer over me. Emotionless as the true meaning of her words washes over me. If one lived so long through her magic, then the mage before me might be. She is the one who trapped Yasue in that book? At once I feel panic, a deep urgency to do anything, to say something, yet neither my body nor mouth will move. Yasue's sister, the one who sealed her so long ago, is the one before me? Far from talking me out of my fear, she simply observes me with distant interest. How does she know of us? What can I do with what she's told me? What would Yasue herself think were I to tell her? Whoa, my ears.
どうして私にその話を？
Probably to tell you to just stop going there. My words feel pathetic, timidly stuttered into the cold air.
悲しみを抱えているのはあなただけじゃない。周りを見なさい。その証がたくさんあるわ。夏の花は枯れ、秋の葉は落ちる。移ろいゆく世界に私たちは抗う運命にある。人間の永遠の愚行に対して、そして冬の雪が舞い降りる。 あらゆるものが過ぎ去っていく。私たちは時の流れの前では風に舞う花びらのようなもの。
All sense of panic has evaporated as she falls silent, giving way to a grey hopelessness. She has no intention of harming me. There's simply nothing I can say against her, nor anything I can do. And she knows it.
物事が変わらないでほしいと思うのは普通のことでは。こんな風になりたくないって思うのも普通のことだと思う。
永続性を望むとはいかにも人間らしいわね。でも私たちは変化する世界に生まれた。愛するものはなくなり、家は変わり、慣れ親しんだ風習も徐々に馴染みのないものへと変わっていく。それが私たちの運命よ。
It's as they say, the passage of time waits for no one. Things will keep changing no matter what. It's all how you react to it determines how happy your life will be.
抗おうとしたものの多くが狂気の深みに落ちていった。そうしなかった者たちは歴史に暗い物語を刻んだ。浅川ほのく、他人に執着しても苦しむだけよ。飲み込まれたくなければ手放すことを知りなさい。
So basically, she's saying, yes, stop going back there. You're just gonna hurt yourself. And Yasue.
飲み込まれる？何に？誰に？
My last words drift unanswered into the cold breeze. The clatter of wooden sandals against concrete ringing out once more. She knows my full name as well. If I were to ask how, I know I wouldn't get an answer. All I can do is watch as she leaves. That blonde woman opening the door of a waiting car for her. Lady Yonohara. What kind of past has she led for so many years to give her such eyes? Whew. Boy, that is quite something. Quite a revelation. Act 1, Scene 10. Lamentation of the Lost. I do like the hand-drawn look of the backgrounds to this game. They are very pretty. Sitting on a bench downtown, I idly stare upwards at the sunlit sky. The sun is warm here, the noise of cars is gone, and the music of stores silent. Basking in the surreal surroundings, I rub my arm from the aching wound. A rough-hewn man hawks his cheap wares at the side of the road, and a couple of women chat while carrying children on their backs. A dapper gentleman gives a smile and a nod to them as he strolls along, his cane tapping beside him. My vision's briefly blocked by a rickshaw trundling up the road, an old woman enjoying the excitement of the ride. I can't help but see them as people, despite them being little more than actors performing an elaborate script. For this isn't the world of the Meiji era, but of Yasue's mind. An immaculate replica of a past age, but a replica nonetheless. Yet the sun still shines warmly. The bench I sit on is sturdy and carefully carved, and the buildings up and down the street are built of crafted wood rather than glass and concrete. Rather than uniformed staff silently poised behind counters, hawkers yell to the passing crowds from open-air storefronts. Horses neigh as people wrestle their bridles, their scent carrying in the air. How strange that a false world should feel more real than my own. This is a city vivid, almost lurid with life. A city conjured by the woman quickly skipping over in a cheerful, sunflower-colored kimono. Yasue's face is no less warm than the sun beaming over her shoulder as she smiles down at me. But as I come to my feet and her eyes meet mine, I can only think of Yonohara's. That darkness I felt from her sister is entirely absent from Yasue. As I catch my reflection in Yasue's calm gaze, it's difficult to see how the two are related, let alone sisters. They sure don't seem alike, do they? They are pretty much complete opposites. As her conjured fan disappears, however, I am reminded of one similarity. The two are mages. That same power Yasue used to create this world, Yonohara also possesses. If their powers are opposites, then...
どうかしたの?
I should tell her what I saw for days now. I've rehearsed how to explain that meeting at the cemetery. Yonohara's words weigh heavily on my mind. Speaking of a past Yasue never told me. A past of suffering, of loss, and of anger. But as Yasue stands before me now, I can't find the words. No matter what I say to her, it would only bring pain. So I choose the coward's option.
なんでもない。ここ、初めて来た時と変わらないくらい、現実感がないなって。
Just don't even bring it up. Yeah, that seems like a Honoka way of doing things. But surely eventually she can't hide it any longer. She accepts the words cheerfully, which only makes me feel worse. I loathe this side of myself. Ugh. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. I have 10 cans of this Lando Norris monster. It's gonna take me a few weeks to get through all these. Yasue moves to speak once more, but her eye is drawn to my bulging pocket. She knows what my phone represents now. A rare link to the outside world. It takes me a moment to remember what I brought with me, being so wrapped up in Yonohara. My hand reaches into my pocket to pluck it out, her eyes following with poorly hidden curiosity before eagerly taking the device in both hands as I hand it over.
今の世界がどんな風か見せてあげようと思って、ここ数週間写真を撮ってたんだ。
Well, I'm certainly glad she's not doing this like almost bi-weekly, almost bi-daily. Yasue looks back down to the phone as I unlock it for her, her expression lighting up as the black screen comes to life. Oh wow, actual pictures! Oh my gosh, that is so cute. You got doggies! Aw, so cute. She's already worked out how to open the photo gallery, pausing for my approval before gingerly tapping it.
写真を撮るのはあんまり得意じゃないけど、街中あちこちで撮ってみたの。
I mean, they are very nice. All I can do is awkwardly fiddle with my hair as she scans every inch of the thumbnails before pressing on the first new entry.
これ、私の家がある通り。現代じゃありきたりの住宅街だね。
Oh, really? I didn't think her house would be in a street like this, to be honest. I thought it'd literally just be like one of those, like, on a hill sort of, like, estate houses.
これは車かしら。空にどうして線が引いてあるの？この壁は木ではないのでしょ？
Nope. Peppered with questions from the very first photo, I try to answer each in succession. While pointing out this and that, I'm forced to think about details of modern life I'd simply taken for granted. Already exhausted from just a single one of the dozen or so I brought along, I take a seat beside Yasue as she sits to go through the others. Oh my goodness. I mean, just imagine if you brought a phone back to like, Rome or ancient Rome or somewhere. Imagine how people would react to the technology you've brought.
まあ、北海道庁。まだそこにあるのね。でも、その周りの建物は、こんなに高い建物は初めてだわ。それも全部ガラスなの？
これでも高層ビルに比べるとかなり小さい方よ。後ろに映ってる大きなお皿みたいなものは地球の周りを回ってる衛星と通信してる。
I don't see what they're talking about. I may have moved a little too fast. Yasue's mind still stuck on buildings made of metal and glass. The amount that's happened since the late 19th century is a little staggering now that I think about it. Technology has advanced so quickly, hasn't it? It's advanced so fast. She flips to the next in the stack, a bright red vending machine piled with snow.
これは見たことがないわね。
自動販売機って言ってね、硬貨を入れると選んだ飲み物が出てくるの。広まったのは何年後かな。
Yasue's like a kid in a candy shop. Or a kid in a sweet shop. Why am I Americanizing things? Ah, that's another topic which will be beyond her. For all the wondrous advances we made beyond her time, the suffering of war are barely imaginable, even to a modern person now. Yasue catches my dark expression. Sorry, chat. My Sunday to Monday sleep wasn't very good. My Monday to Tuesday was better, but still a bit, underwhelming. That's not something I want to burden her with. Not now, anyway.
そのことについては話すことがありすぎるから、今度本を持ってきて説明するね。
Fair enough. With some hesitation, she accepts the blatant sidestepping. I wonder how Yasue would react to the horrors my world has faced compared to hers. Oh yeah, like the nuclear, the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, right? That's probably the sort of thing you're talking about, right? Encoding overloaded? Oh my gosh, what can I do? What can I do to fix this error I keep getting? Returning to the phone, she swipes across to another photo. As townspeople mill about around us, the woman carefully examines every detail of the shot. It's fascinating to watch Yasue swipe through the gallery with one flick of her thumb and then another. The woman whose lived experience was stuck in the Meiji era navigating a phone with increasing ease. It gives me new appreciation for how quick humans are at adapting. I'm gonna open an app real quick. I wanna see if maybe my computer is beginning to, get a bit hot. But I just need to remember what the app was called. I think it's near the top, actually. I just want to see if maybe my computer is getting a bit warm. Maybe that's why it keeps happening. But we'll see. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, 75 degrees? That ain't too warm, is it? That wouldn't cause a computer to, struggle, would it? The questions she once peppered me with soon become rare, before she finally goes entirely quiet. One after the other, she slowly makes her way through the gallery, immersed entirely in a world she can never touch. As minutes go by, I realize that this is the only thing I've ever seen her do in total silence. Photos of cars and trains, decorative lights and advertisements around the city at night, arcade machines and teens playing them at game centers, people using computers and playing with mobile phones, bikes, houses, restaurants, alleyways, and busy roads. Just everyday things. Trivial, meaningless things I'd so often walk right past. All of which utterly fascinate Yasue. I expected to be narrating the experience, explaining this or that. Instead, she looks on in simple, silent wonderment. The feeling I have while watching her is a little wistful, perhaps like a parent watching a child experiencing something for the first time. Everyday life must be very strange from the perspective of someone from this era. From soft drink cans to medical advances. Life is more comfortable than ever. For better or for worse, we advance. I might try closing some background apps that don't need to be on. Then Yasue reaches the final photos. Crowds waiting at train platforms. Tourists dragging luggage about. Salarymen on their way to work. And shoppers on a busy weekend. The last photo is a shot taken from downtown, practically from where we sit. Screens and advertisements cover the tall buildings. Looming over snowy streets, thick with random people. A photo of nothing in particular. Just people, living their lives. Looking to Yasue, her aura changes. She showed so much delight at modern curiosities, but her longing for that world behind the glass screen is palpable. No, not the world inside it. The people inside. Ooh, I don't like this music. It's very sad. My heart sinks as Yasue's lips begin to quiver. I soon realize that it isn't the fingers of sadness plucking at her strings, but barely repressed anger. As she hands my phone back to me, I notice her knuckles going white from her grip.
あの女に私はどれほどのものを奪われたの。どうして何のために
She forgets my existence for some time as she quietly repeats the question into the thin air. I don't dare speak up. Yonohara's existence would only rub salt into the wound. As much as she may grieve those she's lost, Yasue's anger at the one who took them from her is no less raw. We are playing a visual novel called A Tithe in Blood. And it does involve scenes of self-harm, which is why you have the warning. How you doing, by the way? It's nice to see another new chat member. How are you? I hope you've had a nice day, or if it's the start of your day, you're having a nice day. Even having met Yonohara, though, I can't guess at her reason for sealing Yasue away. She seems a perfectly kind, warm person compared to Yonohara's cold, even arrogant demeanor. Time to think over our brief talk hasn't helped endear her to me at all. I can't imagine it would.
何か私にできることはない？復讐でも何でも。
Oh damn. I will get revenge if you want. Suddenly reminded that I'm here, her mind snaps back into the present as she looks back towards me. The hate in Yasue isn't stifled that easily. Her stilted smile hardly convincing, nor reassuring.
何もしてくれなくていいの。あなたのような人がいてくれる。それだけで十分よ。
Seal her away in this world, then she'll understand the suffering and pain. She reaches over to stroke my hair with her right hand, but as an odd fit of burning willpower sparks inside of me, I tightly clasp it with my own hands instead. I might not be much use to anyone, but for the woman I love.
遠慮なんていらない。安江のためなら何だってする。
Wow.
そう。それならもう少しだけ一緒にいてもらおうかしら。ね、ほのか。
Goodness me. She gives an indulgent smile as she clasps my hands with her own, staring into my eyes as she does. I smile, or try to, but my eyes are so barely free of tears. Aww. I'm reminded of those words spoken in the cemetery, where one avoided company, the other adored it. She lived for the attention of others and charmed anyone she met. There's no doubt the two are truly related. Yonohara knows her too well. How Yonohara could do this to her own sister, I don't understand. Okay, that's very fine. That's very fine. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. It must be nice to be able to have your phone while you're at work. But yeah, I hope that, you know, you'll get stuff to do soon, because there's nothing worse than being at work and just having not a lot to do. No matter the reason, one walks free, and the other languishes in a cage. For Yasue, my life will appear a momentary flicker. No matter how deep our love, I can't free her nor raise a hand to Yonohara. Our time together will be but a blink in her lifetime of solitude. Whether in my world or hers, I can't save her. Yep. Act 1, Scene 11. A paralyzed soul. Some people find comfort in cafes, chatting with friends. Others at coffee shops with co-workers while discussing the day ahead. Some would tinker at home, surrounded by the personal project or that. For me, that place of comfort would be the Meiji world of Yasue's mind. Until then, though, the library will have to do. As the shuffling of Shino's work echoes about the quiet room, I silently scan the passages of my favorite book. Isabella Mora, Le Rime. Its pages aren't worn from age, but from use. It was this which sparked my interest in Italian literature to begin with. I did see your message appear on my phone. Yeah, I didn't see it exactly because, you know, I'm using it for my model, but yeah. Her rather more useful book lives on my desk, undisturbed. Nobody can know about it. Nobody can know about us. Immersed in reading the collection of her sonnets, I come to the final verse of my favorite poem. Her grief-stained words take on a new significance, absent-mindedly mumbled under my breath as I read them.
夏も冬ももはや私を傷つけることはない。暑さも寒さも感じられないからだ。兄弟よ、希望は等しく虚しい。
someone thinks that a game like GTA 6 could be made with one prompt by 2035. AI has come along very quick in such a short space of time, though. You can't deny that. But yeah, you couldn't really make a game with one prompt as big as GTA 6 is looking like it's gonna be. It would be full of errors and glitches, wouldn't it? It would not. It would need. I think AI would need to come a long way to get to that point. Yes, those will be the final words of hers, which I remember. With that, I close the book before me.
その本好きなの？
Sheena's friendly voice makes me look up. The box beside her, previously full of books to shelve away, now empty. She sure isn't the type to enjoy a comfortable silence, nor a quiet moment without some distraction. I mean, you can tell she's a very social-like butterfly.
イザベラ・ディ・モーラの詩集。注釈が書かれていて、時々読んでるの。へえ、そうなんだ。
RPG Maker game. Well, yeah, that would be a lot easier for an AI to make, certainly. But yeah, a giant, full of life, 3D world would be quite a stretch too far. Although, I'm pretty sure you'll probably see some mobile games that are made with AI that are like GTA-like, but are obviously very, very, very low quality.
イザベラを知っているの？全然。
Then why did you act like you knew? Her attempt at striking up a conversation is earnest, if nothing else. I like Shino. She's so friendly.
にしてもよく読めるね。それ、イタリア語で書いてあるんでしょ？
I give another quiet nod. While not wanting to be abrasive, I want to keep this world private from her. I think you can understand why. Isabella's work is difficult to read given its age, hailing from the 16th century, just as a certain other book, but is no less captivating for it. Indeed, that goes to show the universal nature of her feelings. Looking back down at the book's worn cover, a familiar feeling rises within me. I wish that I hadn't taken this road, that I'd been interested in normal things, and led a normal life with others. Even now I can't help but ward off Shino's overtures.
時々思うんだよね。読書家のほのかちゃんの方がこの仕事に向いてるんじゃないかって。
She's just doing this because it's a job. She doesn't like reading anything.
本が好きじゃないの？最近じゃネットの記事以外ほとんど読んでないな。それにイタリア語なんてさっぱりわかんないし。私なんかよりほのかちゃんの方がとっくに上を行ってるよ。
My goodness, these two girls couldn't be more opposite of each other.
なんだか自慢してるみたい。
Yo, Bumbun, how are things? How is the commission work going?
その逆だよ。むしろ恥ずかしく思ってる。この大学の学生ってみんな私よりずっと優秀なんだもん。私なんて学ぶ時間がないわけじゃないのに、怠け癖のせいで何にもしてないだけ。
At least she's honest, I suppose.
人生で学べる時間なんて限られてるのに。ああ、時間がないわけじゃないよ。それは確かなんだけどね。
She has no motivation.
私はどっちかっていうと、広く浅く勉強したいタイプみたい。って言えば通じるかな。
A broad spectrum. Not a master of any of them. Just knowing enough to get by. Shino and I really are nothing alike. I know, there couldn't be more opposite. Oh god. My ears! Ah! Trying to put her out of mind, I glance out the window. The depth of winter isn't far away, with the snowfall only becoming heavier and sky more overcast. How do people live so easily? Shino can smile and chat so thoughtlessly just as Yasue does. Instead, I just have a hollow. An emptiness that indulging myself in books can't fill. No matter how hard I try, I'd perhaps hoped that finding love would fill the void, only to have her denied from me thanks to my health. Yet Yasue smiles every time we meet, while I walk free in a grey world.
どうしていつもそん
Ooh.
なに明るくいられるの？
Ah, the shudder afterwards. Oh, no, not again! Ah! I hate this noise! Make it stop! Something breaks within me as I say the words. No, it's simply an admission that I was already broken.
ふりをするのが得意なだけ。
Huh? What?
本気でそう思ってくれてるなら言っとくけど、私だって自分が何してるかなんて分かってない。ただ配られた手札でどうにかしてるだけ。フラッシュのこともあれば降りることもある。
Yeah, for anyone who wasn't here last time, we learned that Shino has artificial legs that she makes herself, funnily enough. Her advice is so similar to Yasue's. Her smile is no less honest, just as she is in everything she does, but it's no more reassuring. I don't hate Shino. I don't think I ever have. Rather, I admire her. She enjoys evil menial work, never minds her prosthetics, and adapted just fine to a job that's clearly ill-fitting for her. I look forward to, getting my commission from you, Bunbun. When you get round to it, of course. I'm in no rush at this point. I hope you're able to, do these commissions. I will like your commissions, even if they are a little bit on the, explicit side, but that's just because I want to support you. That's all. The air becomes a little awkward as I fall silent. I didn't have a particular goal in mind when bringing up such a topic, and Shino's left twisting in the wind about how close she really is to me. We can discuss it later. Yeah, that's fine. Seeing no way out of the subject, and already regretting bringing it up, I take to my feet and make to leave as I slide the book into my bag and sling my coat over my shoulders.
変なことを聞いてごめんなさい。深い意味はないの。今日中に済ませたい用事があるから帰るね。
Oof.
気にしてないよ。じゃあね、ほのかちゃん。
You can't hate Shino. She's such a chill person. She's such a chill girl.
また。
Well, I wonder how that's gonna work. It feels weird to have her address me by name. Already feeling restless from anxiety, I quickly shuffle myself out. As I glance back on the way out the door, I notice Shino already playing with her phone. My existence to her, too, will be nothing but a fleeting moment. Ooh. CG time! Voices echo about the cramped university washroom as freezing water washes over my hands. Two women chattering beside me. Out of habit, I eavesdrop on their conversation while subtly looking under my brow at their reflection. Both are students by the looks of them. The three of us probably the only ones left on campus by now. As if it weren't already obvious by their trendy jackets, jewelry, and dresses, they gossip about the dates they each have planned for the evening. One talks the other up to loosen her nerves. There's a certain gaiety to their voices, both chattering like giddy schoolgirls. Ow! I've seen so many romance movies, read of it in books, and seen innumerable posts about it on people's feeds. Romance was something wonderful and fluffy, sometimes fiery and passionate, other times warm and comforting. Surrounded by the cold concrete of the washroom, I wonder why I can't make myself feel like that. With all the money I could need to buy fancy clothes, all I have to do to my name are hoodies and old sweaters. Just as Yonohara said, styles and fashions change, slowly becoming unfamiliar. What? I came here to see a meal, not to relate to this girl speaking facts. That's only normal. It's me who isn't. The world keeps changing, but I can't keep up. Frozen in time, I can only watch others live their lives so effortlessly. As I watch them, one of the women catches my gaze. My heart skips a beat and I quickly shift my eyes downward. But I catch a familiar reflex in her expression as I do. An uneasiness at the creepy person before her. She quickly suggests they leave, her friend following as she shuffles out of the door. The door latches shut with a metallic thud, and I'm alone once more. With my hands soaking wet by now, I finally turn off the tap and look forwards. The bags under my eyes are worse than they've ever been, and my skin is a ghostly pale. I must look like some malevolent spirit rather than a university student. Perhaps I should go home. There's nobody there for me, though. I could go downtown and drift amid the sea of strangers for a time, but it's pointless, just filled with shops hawking goods I don't need. There's nowhere for me. The only place, the only person I belong to. My body stops me from visiting. I'm alone in this concrete box. I simply stare, unable to move. My feet feel like anchors. Perhaps it's from anemia, or just wanting to avoid being seen by others. My heart begins to race, adrenaline suddenly pouring through my body, but it has nowhere to go. A sense of panic wells up inside as I stare at the image in the mirror. The person in the mirror is disgusting. They're a coward who can't tell Yasue about her own sister. Their magic is a hollow mimic of the real thing. What would others think of their shameful habit? The resulting scars so barely hidden under their sleeve. Their own appearance creeps others out. They can't cook for themselves, their interests are weird, and they can't keep a single friend. I don't like them. Why is my love so different? Why can others live so easily? Why am I always so tired? Damn. In one shudder of the train, that unknown person died. Nobody knew nor cared as they buried themselves in their phones. Once the blue tarpaulin was draped over them, they ceased to exist. And that's when I decided to be a VTuber. Problem solved. I mean, I know there are some people who have lived really hard lives, become VTubers, and have seen success. I mean, I know Yomi Quinley. She is someone who has suffered a lot of her life, and she has become a pretty big VTuber now. And it's always nice when you can see people overcome the hardships of their past to become an even better them for the now. It was as if they never existed in the first place. For me, too, would it be so bad if this paralyzed soul ceased to exist in this world? Yeah, I know, Junebug, I know. I won't bring her up again. Just something I felt was related, that's all. The house lies cold, having turned off the heating. The bathroom and kitchen taps are still, checked again for any dripping. The bed lies carefully set, crisp and neat as ever. Standing in the living room after my last round of checks, I'm confident that nothing will present a problem for those who come after. How odd it is to be so particular about such unnecessary things. I suppose it's only natural, after a lifetime of being told not to be a pain for others. I take one last look around the room, engraving it on my memory. Everything from the immaculately swept hardwood floors to the carefully wiped low table. Its veneer having flaked off a corner. My life completely changed, but the house never did. In the end, a human life is no different than magic. Once you let go of the rock, it simply drops. Now it's time for me to finally let go. Fearful of letting hesitation build, I turn and make the walk up the stairs to my study. What a mess this room is in comparison. Assorted notes lie strewn around the book in the desk's center, still open to the pages on transference. The floor is tarnished, wine-dark stains punctuated with dusty remnants of chalk circles and glyphs. Stepping over the mess, I come to the desk. Taking a moment to clean what I can of this room as well, I pull open a drawer and place my laptop inside, followed by the paper reminders and bookmarks. I have little need for them after this. Oh, goodness. I think she's gonna try and take her own life. My last job done, I put my fingers to the book's pages. These words started it all, and will now serve to end it all. Taking the chalk from the bed from beside it, I crouch and begin to carefully draw the intricate patterns. The tapping of chalk on wood is almost rhythmic, echoing about the small study as if on a classroom's blackboard. After a few minutes' work, I right myself and replace the chalk on my desk. Taking my knife in hand, I idly wonder how many times I've done this ritual. How many times the simple act of seeing someone I love took so much from me. I suppose that hardly matters now. I take a breath to steady myself and bring the blade to my arm. To give myself one final moment to back down, I take one last look around me. This house has seen the laughter of my friends during visits, and the chatter of Mum and Dad as I returned from school. Birthday parties heard throughout the rooms, and get-togethers with relatives bringing their gossip and stories. That's gone now. All that's here is me. Me and this horrible, unending silence. A silence which became too much to bear. Gritting my teeth, I force myself to slash the knife across my skin. Stifling my whelp of pain, I watch the warm blood trickle down my wounded arm. For all Yasue talks of her precious memories keeping her going, mine have only given me pain. Pain which will no longer be mine to bear, as I crouch and carefully trace out the marks about me. Coming to my feet, I already feel the magic taking hold earlier than it has ever before. Perhaps in my last moments, I finally found the true strength of my hollow magic. Practice makes perfect, I think to myself in dark amusement. My heart races as the full realization of what I'm doing creeps upon me, but it's all too late. My fate sealed, I look out the window one final time. My last view of this world is of the bare branches of nearby trees faintly peering out from the forlorn winter's fog. then it's gone. Huh? Nani? Huh? The tithe one must pay. What? What? Huh? What happened? What? Was that like the bad end? And now it's starting again? What? A terrible chill hangs in the air, the season proving bitter as it so often is here. On this cold day, a great throng of students slowly shuffles through the piled snow of the university grounds, the day's lectures finally over. Some gossip freely with friends, while others fawn over their partners. Most, however, stroll silently. Yeah, we're back to the beginning. Amidst this sea of people, walks one unremarkable student among many. Honoka Asakawa. At 20 years old, she is a humanities student in her 3rd year here. Academically talented, to say the least. She passed her entrance exam for Hokkaido University with flying colors. With no friends to speak of, nor classmates she keeps contact with, she cuts a solitary figure amidst the crowd as she walks to their station. Turning back from watching that reclusive woman from the library window, I turn to my new co-workers in discontent. Oh! We're Shino now, are we?
こんなやり口であの子を操るのは気が進まないな。
What? Excuse me? What now? Huh?
ほのかは操らないと決めただろう。依頼人の要望ははっきりしている。私たちが動くのは依頼人の指示があったとき。普段は監視するだけだ。
What? I'm so confused! I'm so confused! That's the... Goodness me, what is happening? Kaoru's in no better mood about this than I am. Her annoyance boiling over as she pushes herself off the table she was leaning on.
わかんねえな。なんでそんなコソコソするんだよ。さっさとあの子と本を確保して終わらせりゃいいのに。
依頼人が。
わかったって。でも何週間もじっとしてんのは性に合わねえな。
What on earth is going on?
曖昧な仕事だからな。抵抗を覚えるのも仕方ない。これまでにもっとひどい仕事もあっただろう。
まあ、ちゃんと報酬払ってもらえんなら文句はねえけどさ。
Yeah, I know. I'm so confused. Satisfied she's quelled the rebellion, Tatiana turns back to me.
本当に任せて大丈夫か。探偵になったばかりだろう。
Detective agency? Excuse me? What on earth is this all about? The only private detective agency run on this side of a bar, I'd wager. Or the only bar run on the side of a detective agency. I'm still not sure which. Kaoru and Tatiana have been in this game together for a while. Years by now. I can't say I've ever tried being a private detective myself, nor played a librarian. But I'll try anything once. It's not like I don't have time.
大丈夫だよ。司書の仕事ならいい気分転換にもなるし。でもさ、なんで私に白羽の矢が立ったの？
Yeah, okay.
時間のあるものが必要だった。となれば私は対象外だ。静かにしていられるものが必要だった。カオルも対象外だ。
ちょっと。
Hey, rude! I give a smile to the two of them before looking out the window. I suppose there are worse places to be working during a harsh winter, so we are seeing this from Shino's point of view now.
悪口が終わったみたいだからもう行くよ。気楽にやりなよ、シノ。
Whoops. She gives a brief wave, which I return before she saunters out. 1 second. Alright, just take it easy. Okay, fair. She gives a brief wave, which I return before she saunters out. Tatiana moves to follow her, but pauses for a few moments.
何？
頼んだぞ。何かあったら連絡をくれ。
わかった。
That was clearly not what she wanted to say. Knowing Tatiana, I wouldn't get a straight answer if I tried. With that, Tatiana's flowing coat swings about her as she turns on her heel. It's amusing to contrast her with Kaoru as she follows her out. Every moment she fakes feeling thoughtlessly imposing. Yeah, she does seem like an imposing lady. Now alone with my thoughts, I look over the library and take stock of my situation. This will be my second home for the next few weeks or months for all we know. I must admit, it feels a little lonely here. Something not helped by the faint noise of students and staff outside. Pushing such thoughts aside with a hearty snort, I roll up my sleeves and get a start on stocking books. This might just be a means to get close to Honoka, but that doesn't mean I can't do this job right. Shino is a good girl. She is a very good girl. Alright, that's half the monster. Gonna have to put that in the fridge when I swap games. I wonder if this means Shino might come and discover her body, maybe? The first few days of working here have been quite an experience. There are 2 main libraries on campus, called North and Central, plus a scattering of more specialized branches. This being the Central Library, it receives the bulk of the traffic. I'd initially thought the library lavish, but the hustle and bustle of students and researchers during the day makes it clear the university gets its money's worth from the place. I never thought being a librarian would be so stressful. Who'd have thought? Excuse me. The day's rush only makes the serenity of the evenings all the more poignant. At least I have times like this to recover. The large and well-stocked library, awash in the glow of sunset, now stands empty save for me and one other. Honoka sits at one of the tables, reading quietly as I stack a box of returned books. The previous librarian, there you go, had left a note that she often used the library to study after hours. Why Honoka started doing this was left unsaid, but it didn't take long to work out. As always, she didn't bother with small talk before getting to studying. I'd expected her to be quiet, but not outright avoidant. I'm sure she's like a hermit, if not for lectures and dragging her here. You're just here to stare at me for hours? Well, I appreciate that, thank you. I hope my 2.0 will be stareable, which I think it probably will be. The plan is to debut on my birthday, October the 11th. That is the plan, Whether that plan comes to fruition, who knows? But that's when I want to debut the 2.0. It's done, obviously, but there's still other things I need to get. It's not cheap. Not cheap to re-debut, I'll say that much. That's why I have a throne to help fund some of the smaller things, if possible. If not, we'll get around to it. It would be nice to have everything ready for debut, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We just gotta accept that. Despite keeping my ear to the ground, I haven't picked up on any rumors about her, or anything being spoken of Honoka at all. She's practically a shadow in any group she walks among, and keeps to herself in classes. I wonder if she realizes that she sticks out all the more from her efforts to go unnoticed. That's normally how it goes, isn't it?
もっと早くに言っとくべきだったよね。付き合ってくれてありがとう。
So this is why she keeps trying to talk to Honoka. She had an ulterior motive. Good to know now. Her head jerks upwards in surprise. Honoka's face shows little, but her jitters make me worried something's happened to her.
私こそ長居させてくれてありがとう。
At least she's not completely blowing me off. That's probably as close to an invitation to chat as I'm going to get, so I drop my current book in the box and walk over. Obviously, introverts do not like this. I take a chair and spin it about, taking a seat sideways. These chairs are more comfortable this way around. She looks a little nonplussed at being practically forced into this, but I don't have much choice if I want to get closer to her. I find it's often the quietest people who lead the most interesting lives. Ah, I wonder. Case in point, my eyes fall to the book in her hands. She's been reading that one for a while, but reading the Italian title is admittedly beyond me.
イタリア語を読めるの？すごいじゃん。私も言語はいくつか知ってるよ。世界とつながってるって感じがするよね。そうかも。私は単位のためだけど。
No, you don't. Probably. No, you don't. Probably. The discussion's rudely interrupted by a ping coming from my jacket pocket. Before I realize I've done so, I've plucked the phone out and have it in front of my face. It's a text from Tatiana. I found Honoka's social media if you want to see, with a link afterwards. Ensuring Honoka has no way to see my screen, I decide to quickly check it out. No followers? Her last post is from a few years back too. That's probably my Facebook account right now. There are some posts from friends in high school, but that stopped back then too. It's a little weird to so clearly see the stages of her life, down to when her group of friends graduated and went their separate ways. This explains why she's so withdrawn. She had nobody to lean on for support after her parents passed. That just means I'll have to be the one to open conversations between us. Acutely aware that I'm browsing Honoka's life while she's right in front of me, I reply to Tatiana with a quick thanks before locking the phone once more.
こういうのって本当にすごいよね。一昔前はただのチャットスペースだったのに、今じゃサイバースペース全部がポケットの中に収まるんだもん。世界中の誰とでも簡単につながれるし、図書館の蔵書も丸ごと収容できちゃう。
Yes, technology has, like I said earlier in the stream, technology has advanced so fast in recent years. It's crazy. Used to only have mobile phones to make phone calls. And now we have games, we have the internet, we have our social media, we have all sorts on it now. Is that maybe a bad thing? You be the judge. Maybe that segue didn't work as well as I'd hoped, going by her expression.
あれ、なんか変なこと言ったかな？別に。ただ、最近はみんなスマホに慣れてると思ってたから。
Most of us are, Honoka, most of us are. I slide my phone back into my pocket and take to my feet. It's probably for the best if I don't try to get too close to her too quickly anyway.
ああ、それは
なんていうか。
No, Emil did, don't worry. What do you mean, don't worry? When you say stuff sometimes, Junebug, I worry.
私はほら、田舎育ちだから、こういうのを使うようになったのって、つい最近のことでさ。コンピューターとかスマホとか、まだ慣れてなくて。
What is the plot now? Basically, we are seeing the story from Shino's point of view now. She happens to be working for a detective agency trying to get close to Honoka, for some reason. Because apparently there's a job about being close to Honoka. So we're basically retreading the parts of the story we saw with Honoka, only from Shino's point of view. That'll work. It's not like I'm lying to her. Technically.
じゃあどうして都会に来たの？
一言で言えば冒険かな。いろんな仕事を転々としてその時々に興味があることをやってる。
ここの仕事も次が見つかるまでのつなぎってこと？どれくらいいるの？
So basically this is the jacket lady point of view, meaning Glasses Lady already... Meanwhile, Glasses Lady already thinking about how sad is her life and stuff around this point. Yeah. Yeah, because this is around the point where we'd already done the first... Honoka's first travel to the, to Yasue's, world. So yeah, this is from when Shino enters the picture, basically.
飽きるまでかな。
それって大変じゃない？
別に心のありようさえずれてなければ生きるのはぐんと楽になるよ。
Okay.
これだって思える生き方があればいいよね。私はいつもどんなちっぽけなことでも正しい形にできたらなって思ってる。軸さえぶれなきゃ目の前で起きてることもあんまり気にならなくなるんじゃないかな。
She thinks to herself for a moment afterwards. Maybe I found the first crack in all her worries that I can help her through?
魔術師のこと何か知ってる？
Oh shit! She brings it up and then...
急に話題が変わったね。
Wow, that's quite a change, yes indeed. I mean, obviously that Tatiana lady was, basically serving, you know, Yasue's evil sister. So, yeah, I'm kind of confused about how this is all gonna come back together.
ついこの前医者をやってる魔術師の記事を読んだの。それでちょっと気になって。
Of all the topics to raise, I should have known that subject was coming. But I still have to work to not show it.
気になる存在ではあるよね。珍しいから実際に魔術を使っているところなんてなかなかお目にかかれないし。
Yep, so she did... So mages are people are aware of in this world, obviously.
それもそうだけど全く違う人生を歩んできた人がすぐそばにいるのに誰もそれに気づかないって不思議だなってそう思わない？
Thinking fast, I work out a misdirection.
平均的な魔術師は普通の人とあまり変わらない。なのに魔術に不信感を持たれちゃうのは残念だよね。この町の魔術師は目立たないようにしてるみたいだけど。
One has to wonder, who hired this detective agency to monitor Honoka? Which is, you know, that's gonna be an interesting thing to figure out.
それに力の強い魔術師となれば話は別じゃない？ヨーロッパだともっと堂々と暮らしてるみたいだし、古くから続く血統の魔術師は城を持ってることもある。自然の法則を破れるなら政府が手出しできる相手じゃないしね。だからこそみんな魔術師に対して慎重になるんだろうね。異質なものを恐れるのは人の常だもん。
Yep. People do tend to be, cautious around things they don't understand. Some just outright refuting their existence. Which isn't great. I think I managed to hide my relief as she ponders what I've said. At least she doesn't seem to think too badly of mages in general, which is more than can be said for many. Our talk has apparently ended as she gets up from her seat and slides the book she's been reading into her messenger bag.
もう帰るの？疲れすぎないうちに帰らなきゃ。今日も長居させてくれてありがとう。いつでも大歓迎。広い図書館で一人きり、延々と本を片付け続けるだけなんて寂しいもん。
With that, she gives a nod in farewell before shuffling out of the library. It's surprising how noticeably her demeanor shifts when she starts to go, closing off from the world once more as she leaves. I try to focus on finishing up my work for the day, but the image sticks in my mind like grit between teeth. I wonder what Honoka would be like if I'd met her before her loss. I would also be very curious to see how she was like when she had her parents and everything was rosy in her life. One advantage of working at the university is the easy access to a nearby station, with the short train ride practically dropping me off in front of Tatiana's downtown bar. After the now familiar elevator ride, it's only a few steps to go in. Ding! Wow. What an interesting bar this is. The smell of various alcohols just faintly hangs in the air. Dim lights play on the immaculately polished counter, and inviting bottles of liquor and spirits gleam behind it all in colours of the rainbow. It's instantly relaxing, just as intended. In so many ways, this is Tatiana's slice of the world. Everything is in its place and polished to perfection. A perfect stage for any customer wanting to relax with a touch of class. Then there's Kaoru, sitting at a table in the otherwise empty bar before her lie various small tools. Brushes, screwdrivers, a little bottle of oil, and a couple dozen mechanical components. I recognize what she's fiddling with from even a casual glance, waiting until she finishes applying some oil before interrupting her.
テーブルで銃を分解している人がいるバーって珍しいよね。
I mean, if there's no one around, why not fix up your gun? I'm sure that's what Junebug would say, right?
こういう道具はちゃんと手入れしてやればいざって時に応えてくれるものさ。定期的な掃除と点検は基本だよ。
Kaoru keeps working away as she talks, now inspecting a tiny spring. Interested in what she's doing, I take a seat opposite her while being careful not to touch anything.
その拳銃本物じゃないよね。
I mean, being a detective, I'd think they'd have a real gun.
エアガンかって意味なら違うよ。
Yeah.
本当にいるの？
私だって欲しくて用意したんじゃねえよ。こんなジャンクもののマカロフでも闇市場じゃ目玉が吹っ飛ぶような価格なんだから。
Ooh, the black market, you say. Interesting.
つっても文句は言えねえか。調査にしくってこいつに何度も命を救われてきたわけだし。私みたいな一般人が魔術師の相手するからには念には念を入れなきゃ。
Wait. They fight mages? Huh. It's a fascinating piece of engineering, regardless of its purpose. She begins to put it back together piece by piece, starting from the smallest springs and cylinders and progressing towards more recognizable parts of the frame.
そもそもどうやってそんなものを手に入れたのよ。
By now, I've learned of a few of Kaoru's tells. Not a hard task for someone who wears their emotions on their sleeve. One I've come to be amused by is the particular sparkle in her eyes as she begins lecturing on the facts of life with that. I wonder if she enjoys my company for the sake of simply having someone to share her knowledge with.
だいたいこの手のものの出所といえばロシア軍だね。指揮官や受給係が徴兵用の倉庫からちょっとずつくすねてくんの。旧ソ連の安物から今のロシアの最新兵器までいろんなものをね。それを密輸業者が駐屯地や倉庫で買い取って東ロシアから稚内北部まで運ぶ。稚内までは船で4時間くらいで、天気がいいと海岸からロシアが見えるらしいよ。
Interesting.
で、日本に持ち込めたら仲介人ってやつを見つけてそこから買えばいい。ざっとこういう流れだね。
Right, so it's interesting. Very interesting.
えらくあっさり言うんだね。
映画じゃもっと派手で危険なミッションに見えるよな。でも実際は地味なもんさ。金を払って車のトランクからトランクへ移すだけだもん。中古の家具を買う方がよっぽど面倒。
Well, that's the black market for you. Anything you could want, no matter how legal it is quite easily ready to you if you know where to look. She picks up the inside of the barrel and begins to clean it with a small brush. She's not the most gentle of people, yet shows such care in handling the precise and intricate pieces. Before continuing on, she gives it a quick blowout before closing an eye and peering down the cylinder.
そりゃあアメリカで売られてるような最高級品とは物が違うけど、弾はどこ製なんて気にしねえしな。
So long as it can shoot. Even a meal can be found there. Why would I be in the black market? What would I possibly need in the black market, huh? With that, she slides it into its spring and completes the mechanism for the rack. At least I think that's what it's called. It's strange. I feel more at ease lounging about watching Kaoru putting together a weapon than I am at the library. Then again, this isn't the first time I've been around such things. As the door swings open, the two of us give a casual glance to the tall figure, which steps through. This must be the first time I've seen Tatiana late for anything.
あれ？遅いじゃん。渋滞してたの？
雪道でスピードを出しすぎたバカがまた事故を起こした。二人ともご苦労。
So I assume that Tatiana is Russian. I'm pretty sure that's the language below her name. Because the other two are Japanese and they have Japanese text below their names, so I assume that she's Russian. She gives a casual glance at us before continuing on her way behind the counter, entirely unbothered by the weapon as Kaoru slowly reassembles it.
カオル、カクテル作りの講座を受けるよう覚えておけ。安い講座を見つけた。せっかくだし、お前もバーで働くといい。
Alchemy ingredients that are not found normally, duh. I go to the source. I don't need no black market. I go to the source.
何それ？前にカクテル作ってやったじゃん。
そうとも。だからこそ講座を消させる。
Yeah, because you're terrible at mixing drinks. Oof. Oh, she's sad. Oh, why is she so sad? I don't like that face. It's so sad. All Kaoru can do is grimace as Tatiana walks into the back room. As she looks to me for backup, I just shrug. It isn't long before Tatiana re-emerges after hanging up her coat, her tinkering companion having returned to fastening the screw on the back of the grip.
客に見られる前におもちゃを片付けろ。警察に嗅ぎ回られるのはごめんだ。
I mean, your bar is empty, isn't it? Or maybe it wasn't open.
大丈夫だって。まだ誰も来ねえよ。
Guess not. The sound of the door swinging open makes both our hearts skip a beat. Kaoru scooping the pistol into the small of her back is an astonishingly quick move. Thankfully, the tired-looking salaryman doesn't notice the gun disappearing behind her parka as he takes his seat at the bar.
すみません。営業前で迷惑かな。
いいえ、とんでもない。今日は何になさいますか？
Hunched over as much as in annoyance as recovering from the surprise, Garu's left to quietly simmer.
タチアナに正論言われるとなんかムカつく。
Of course. Alright, I think we can stop there. Do not worry, guys. The stream isn't over yet. We still have Mario Kart.